Alright, here is Avengers, Mighty Avengers 26, which is a very poor issue with a great cover. I think we have had this on one of the covers videos. This is a great cover showing this brilliant team, although Fembot and Amadeus Cho, they are missing. And 3 of the characters on this image are not in this issue. And Us Agent's gloves are the wrong colour. And I think Us Agent was meant to be holding his shield in that hand that is raised up. But the cover is the thing I have the least amount of problems with. This is Dan Slott, and I'm willing to say it is his worst issue on this title. This is really bad. The Avengers are getting the break in the Fantastic Force Tower and steal one of Hank Gordon's inventions back. Hank Gordon, he is necking on with a robot copy of his dead wife, because sadly there is a lot of Dan Slott self-inserted into Hank Gordon. We have a bit with Fembot being a horrible arsehole to Giant Girl, and virtually everyone in this comic is a horrible arsehole. This 2-part story, it was given to another artist because the book's regular artist couldn't keep up with Dan Slott's lateness. Well, even this relief artist for a 2-part story couldn't keep up. So this second part has 4 different artists attached to it. I'm not slamming any of the artists here. I do tend to criticise artists who cannot meet the monthly deadlines. But in this case, it is entirely Dan Slott's fault. Dan Slott is so bad at finishing his scripts on time that the artists have, impossible deadlines to meet by the time that he finally submits them. Dan Slott has problems with women, so straight away he sends Invisible Wife off on a plane, and she is not part of the plot. This is a really lame story. Avengers versus Fantastic Force. I think you could do a great story with that, and these 2 iterations of the teams. But this doesn't. The Human Fire and the Thing, they are in the background. Invisible Wife is on a plane. There are multiple members of the Avengers team who are not even mentioned in this. It is all about Mr. Fantasticals versus Hank Gordon. If you want to use that as the focus, that is totally fine. Have them gone head to head in a battle of wits, throwing mad science at each other. And some of that happens, but Mr. Fantasticals is written so badly. It isn't just that he is refusing to help Hank Gordon for petty reasons. Let me reiterate, the stakes are that Hank Gordon's new team of Avengers, who have saved the world a few times by this point and have been televised doing so, well, Hank Gordon's team are losing their headquarters and Hank Gordon needs this machine that Mr. Fantasticals has to save their base. They need this headquarters because this is during Dark Regime, so they need a base that Norman Osborn cannot locate or track them down to. Mr. Fantasticals, he refuses to give Hank Gordon this machine that Hank Gordon helped invent. Mr. Fantasticals, he won't give him it because he is adamant that Hank Gordon is a fuck up. And I'd even give you that. It is petty and mean, but Hank Gordon is a bit of a fuck up. The thing is, Mr. Fantasticals, he is so prepared to die on this hill and offer no alternative. He comes across as a terrible person. Why doesn't Mr. Fantasticals help him? Why doesn't he allow him to use the machine but under his supervision? Why doesn't Mr. Fantasticals help him find another base? Instead, Mr. Fantasticals, he rubs it in that Hank Gordon's team will shortly no longer have access to their headquarters, and that is Avengers team are over. What the fuck is this? This is not Mr. Fantasticals. And Dan Slott, he flippin' writes the Fantastic Force comic nowadays. We have Thing versus Hercules Man. It is in like 4 panels. What could have been a fun fight was just ignored. And then what little we saw of it was Hercules Man posing as Red Hulk. And then at the last minute, Hank Gordon whips out some plot science to suddenly one-up Mr. Fantasticals and steal the machine anyway. They're both written as catty high school girls for the whole thing. And then we have this bit where Amadeus Cho gets axed by the awful little daughter. Epic fail. Holy asterisk times 4. I just got pawned by a 2-year-old girl. I didn't endorse miscarriages, but I really wish Invisible Wife's miscarriage had stuck. Oh, and even Alfred is written as being a prick. There is no one to like in this comic. They are all either written as children having tantrums, or like Fembot, who is written as Dan Slott's personal cum bucket. So, the big fat man-child and his nemesis, the big fat man-child, they decide to stop fighting, and it is over. They won. The Avengers walk off into the sunset, and it is a good sunset since we will be having a co-writer coming on board next issue. Not only do I blame Dan Slott for the art changes in this issue, but I think him failing to finish scripts on time is exactly what causes him to deliver utter rubbish like this. He had a setup, he had a plot, he had some ideas, and then when it came time to finish this script, he had gotten over those ideas or didn't care about them as much anymore, so just writes this drivel. Send the women off on a plane, have everyone else act like children, make sure you write yourself snogging someone with big tits, robot or not. I really hope that this is the worst the run gets. I know the last story is crap, but it's got to be a bit better than this. 7 thumbs up.